Chapter 22, Misfortune. Behind the scenes of the news coverage. Conference room 4. What the hell is this? Is this the best you can come up with? Haven't you noticed that we always get high ratings whenever we cover the Kira case? The reason this show enjoyed the higher ratings earlier is because we had materials that other stations didn't. The key material. So give me good material ideas, but no matter how hard we try, the cops won't give us anything. It's too difficult. What a dumbass. If you can't find good material, make your own. But management is keeping a close watch on us. And if it's best we stay away from pro-Kira material. It doesn't matter the cops didn't say anything when we showed what we thought Kira might look like. I don't think they care about what we do. This time we'll say that in a survey of 100,000 people, 50% said they approved Kira. Then someone will make up some authentic looking graphs and make up some Q&A. That ought to attract viewers. Is it really just from fatigue? What do you mean? Ratio. Whenever there is a heart attack, first thing that comes to mind is Kira. Before I lost consciousness, I was asking myself, is it Kira? I didn't deny that. You are the head investigator of this case. An attempt to assassinate is more than justified, and the chance of Kira failing to kill his targets may not be necessarily zero. Satiro ratio is here now. You should go home and get some rest. But don't tell Sayu anything. I don't want to make anyone else worried. I'll bring some things for you tomorrow. I'll leave the rest to you. I'm just gonna call him Light. Or Yagami. Which one? I'm gonna say Light. Okay. I don't think there being any suspicions of me being Kira should be cleared now. Now that I think about it, I argue with my superior, live in fear of being killed by Kira, and don't sleep much. I really am overwhelmed, aren't I? Not to mention your son has been suspected. You were under tremendous stress. You told my dad about that. Yes, I told him everything, including the fact that I am L. It's true, he is L. To prevent others from finding out, we all call him Ryuzaki, but he really is L. So he really is L after all. Even Dad says so. So he must be L. That had been commanding the police. If I eliminate him and everyone no, it can't be that easily. I take it slow and find out everything. Regardless to the top priority now. It's play the role of like Yagami, who is very concerned over his father's health. Ryuzaki, have you cleared all your suspicions? After talking with my son, no. He said many great things regarding the Kira case, which deepened my suspicions that it's true. Hey, it's one thing to say stuff like that in front of me, but don't say stressful things like that in front of my father. Ryuka, you're too inconsiderate. It's fine, Light. It is much better to hear the truth than comforting lies. And I thought you were suspected. It's different than I believe you are a criminal. Yes. Light, Kun, you misunderstood. When I said I was suspicious of you, I was only very slightly suspicious. Let me reiterate some points. Kira killed 12 FBI agents to enter Japan. All 12 died on December 27 after receiving certain files. It is safe to say that Kira has at least an indirect access to certain source of information although we do not know exactly how many numbers of the weaknesses in security and police station. Therefore, it is very likely that Kira has a direct link to one of the members of the investigation. However, all 12 agents died, yet no Japanese investigator was targeted. Thus, it is very likely that Kira has a close ties with his source, possibly a family relationship. Of course, it is still possible that Kira is willing to murder his family in cold blood, just hasn't done it yet. I see. Furthermore, one of the FBI agents, Ray Pember, is particularly noteworthy. Even his fiance, an ex-FBI agent, disappeared. And that's why you narrow the focus to the Satamoto family and my own. Yes. Based on the lead that Kira is in Japan, I believe that Kira is in China. So he's probably opposed to killing innocent Japanese. Anyways, I agree that if the FBI agents got killed while investigating members of the investigation team, then there's at least a good chance that Kira is somehow related to the investigators. And since I was one of the people being investigated by the FBI agents, I guess it's inevitable that I would be suspected, rather like what Ryuga said, that we were only the possible suspect. Yagami's investigating skills are really amazing. Always so fast and precise. Ryuga, I will help you in your investigation because my dad has given credibility to. Then I am going to arrest Kira and prove that I'm not Kira. What the hell are you talking about, Dad? Like, you shouldn't be concerned. You should be concerned in your studies. You can investigate after you graduate. What are you talking about? I won't graduate for years. Plus, I already made a promise. If anything happens to you, I was going to personally bring Kira to the electric chair. Right now, it is an indirect because of Kira that you are like this. So if I can join the team, I will join. Is he acting? No way he can be too corny to be Yagami-kun. What kind of person do you think Kira is? Kira, he is a teenager from a rich family. Sounds like a good lead. First, I assumed the theory that Kira uses supernatural powers to kill his victims is true. Then kill all criminals and scare people out of commit crimes would make the world a better place. This is his idealistic view of an elementary school student or a high school student. If the person who has that power is younger than that, he'd either fear his power too much to use it, or he would just kill people he doesn't like. On the other hand, if an old person has such power, he would use it to gain personal wealth. Not to reform the world. Also, Kira is probably a rich kid who's relatively ignorant and thus doesn't have much freedom. He's most likely a middle schooler with his own computer and television. Ignorant. That's the only point I disagree on. Judging from all, Kira is most likely a high school student. If we sort through the suspects using Yagami-kun's criteria, suspect most likely Sayu Yagami. That's enough. Why are you always trying to upset my father? I was just following up on Yagami-kun's reason. Stop it, the both of you. I won't feel any worse, no matter of fact. No matter what I hear, but if you want to fight, then go outside. I'm maybe based about this, but Sayu can't be Kira. She's a kind person who would just cry over something she doesn't like instead of doing something about it. I see. I wonder why he didn't say ratio. Can't be Kira. Kira is evil, that's what I thought. But I've recently had to change my mind. If the power to kill, that is evil, not the person who has it. It's a misfortune to have that power. And it doesn't matter how it is used. The happiness achieved by murdering people cannot be true happiness. Then, in other words, if Kira received that power as a normal death, then he was doomed by that power. Ryuzaki, I'm sorry about this. I'll try to get back to work as soon as possible. What are you talking about, Dad? Don't push yourself before you're completely healed. Yes, Chief Yagami. No, if I just lay here, I will die a regretful death. No matter what it takes, I will arrest Kira. Visiting hours are over. Ryuga. Isn't there something I can do to convince you that I'm not Kira? If you aren't Kira, that won't be necessary. That's enough. Try to imagine what it feels to be a suspect from being a mass murderer. It must feel rather terrible. Yeah, okay, how about this? How's this? Lock me up in a place with no TV or media access for a month to see what happens. I guess anyone would be desperate to prove their innocence. Can't do someone moral and arresting someone who is a mere suspect is ridiculous, I see. But don't worry, if you are not Kira, we will know soon. By the way, after watching your conversation with your father, I'm beginning to think that you are not Kira. Please take care. One more thing. Even though I said that I would assist you in the investigation, I don't think I'll be able to do anything before my father recovers. I understand. Good night. Hideki Ryuga Miyazaki is one of those two names. L's real name. Light Yagami, he is not Kira, is he? Ryuk. I never thought picking up death was my fortune. Actually, it's the best thing that ever happened to me. With it, I would create a peaceful, a perfect world. I don't care if it is fortunate or not, or unfortunate that Light picked up the death note. However, it's certainly bad luck for the person to be followed by a god of death. In that case, you are going to witness a new pattern with me. Thanks. A few days later. Directing Demagogue, there's a packet for you, thanks. Is it a bomb? Videotapes. Dear Director Simon Zero Grammar, I don't know what's their name. I am Kira. This is proof the first tape. After you watch, I'm exact time in the second page of this document. I don't want to predict and kill. I will send a message to the world. If you refuse, I will kill the president of your network. Why would I refuse? If this is real, it would be like a dream come true. My heart is jumping like crazy.